Hey, what's going on? Brian Parody, Bones to Bulk. All right, today I want to talk about muscle endurance. And whether you're, training for an event, whether you just want to not get out of breath as much, whether you want to have a little bit more time that you can put in the gym without getting worn out, this is the video for you. So there's a lot of different things we can do to build up our muscular endurance. And the first one, number one, is rest less. That's right, rest less. That's a tongue twister, it's hard to say. In between sets, you don't want to be taking 2-3 minutes at a time. I know we can get lost in our phone, and before we know it, like 3, 4, or 5 minutes have gone by, and then we're jumping back into another set. This is not a good way to build our endurance. So what I suggest doing is, whether you have a fitness watch or whether you set a timer on your phone, however you do it, set a timer for about 45 seconds in between each set and keep it to that. Stay stringent with that. What that's going to do is it's going to keep your heart rate elevated, still give you enough time of rest in between to where you can go back and hit it, but it's going to keep that heart elevated, which is very important. All right, number two. When you're doing exercises with weights, whether you're doing a curl, whether you're doing an overhead press, like whatever you're doing, pause. Now, what I mean by this is, let's say I'm doing a bicep curl and I'm going nice and slow, like I should be. Then I'm gonna pause about halfway. So the muscles are in tension. I'm not pausing in the resting state. I'm pausing when they're under tension. Pause for a couple seconds, then continue my reps. So let's say I'm trying to do 12 reps. I'll do a couple, pause for a second, do a couple more. That's gonna help build that muscle endurance, and that's gonna also be very tough. So you may not be able to do as much weight as you normally do doing that method. Well, let's jump into the next one. Number three, HIIT style workouts. Now, I don't suggest you do these every day. I'm not a big fan of doing like full body workouts every single day because I think it wears the body down too much, but I would say 1 to 2 times a week, throw in a HIIT workout. What I mean by this is, it doesn't have to be like a traditional HIIT workout. The way I like to do them is I'll mix it up into a actual circuit day. So, let's say I've done, all my muscle groups throughout the week, and then I'm gonna do a circuit day where I hit a couple exercises of chest, of shoulders, of legs, of arms. So I'm kind of getting a little bit of everything. So I'm only doing a couple exercises of each, but here's the kicker. In between each exercise, I'm going and I'm doing something cardio related. So for example, let's say I start off with bench press. I do my 3 sets of bench press, then I immediately go and do maybe box jumps. Then I go and I do, let's say, some bicep curls. Then as soon as I'm done with that exercise, all 3 sets, then I go and do battle ropes. Then I go back and let's say I'm doing an overhead press with shoulders. I do that. Then as soon as I'm done with those 3 sets, I immediately go back and do sled pushes. So in between every single exercise, I'm doing something that is constantly keeping me going and keeping that heart rate up. This is going to kick your ass, I promise. So definitely do this. That will help a lot. So we've kind of already talked about this one, but basically, the same thing applies as with our strength training of that pause. We want to do that with body weight exercises. Try to, pause, hold things longer than you normally would. If you're doing body squats, squat down, stay in that seated position for a couple seconds, then come back up.